Dear students, we can use Wolfram Cloud or Mathematica to solve examples in our course, as well as we can use this software to verify the results. Okay, so if we use software, then we can understand certain results in a better way. Let us utilize this software for solving delay differential equations using method of steps, and then we verify some of the results we discussed. First, we discuss method of steps. This delay differential equation is given to us: x dot of t equal to a into x of t plus b into x of t minus r plus f of t. And initial data is x of t equal to phi of t for t belongs to closed interval minus r 0. We already have seen that we can find equivalent integral for this problem. It is given by x of t equal to e raised to at into phi of 0 plus integral 0 to t e raised to at minus s multiplied by b into x of s minus r plus f of s ds. And from this we will have some steps. In the first step, we consider t in 0 to r. X of t, we call x of t solution as x1 of t, and it is given by, okay, so the same integral equation where we replace the term x of s minus r by phi of s minus r. Okay, we may call this phi as x0. Okay, in the second step, we take t in the interval r to 2r, and we call the solution as x2 of t, and it is given by this first term is common e raised to at phi of 0 plus second term is integral from 0 to r. Okay, in this interval 0 r, we give x as phi. Okay, but limits are different from 0 to r instead of 0 to t. Okay, so everything else is same. Plus third term is there from integral from r to t e raised to a t minus s b into x1 of. Okay, so in this integral equation, we replace x by x1. Okay, everything else is same. So what will be our general step? If we call x naught as phi, then for t in the closed interval n minus 1 into r to nr, our solution will be xn of t, and it is given like this. First term is e raised to at into phi of 0, same as in other steps. Next term is from 0 to r e raised to a t minus s b x naught s minus r f of s ds. Okay, so in this integral, we take limits from 0 to r and replace x by x0. x0 means phi. In plus, again we take same integral. Limits are from r to 2r, and we replace x by x1. Okay, then and so on. Our second last term will be integral limits are n minus 2 r to n minus 1 r, and we replace x by x suffix n minus 2. Okay, so you can verify with other steps also. And last term will be limits from n minus 1 r to t. Okay, here t is between n minus 1 r to nr. Okay, so we have to reach up to that interval, and this x is replaced by x n minus 1. Okay, so whatever we already have. Okay, when we are finding xn, it is assumed that we already have x0, x1, x2 up to xn minus 1. Okay, so this can be put in the summation. Okay, so we put summation for the terms from second to second last term. Okay, so first term is as it is e raised to at into phi of 0, and last term will also be there. Okay, as it is. For other terms, we can write summation z equal to 0 to n minus 2. Okay, so what is changing? Limits. Okay, first thing is limit. Okay, limits are changing. So j r to j plus 1 r. And if my limits are j r to j plus 1 r, then another thing is there, which is x suffix something. Okay, so it will be x suffix j. Okay, we can check. If this is r, then lower limit is r, then it is x1. If lower limit is 2r, it will be x2 and so on. If lower limit is n minus 2 into r, it is x suffix n minus 2. Okay, so this is xj s minus r plus f of s dx. Okay, so actually this summation suggests using loop. Okay, for loop can be used, and very nice program can be written for method of steps. But instead of using program, I will put these steps as it is. Okay, so of course I will not compute these terms again and again. If e raised to 18 to phi of 0 is there, then I will not compute again. Okay, once we compute this, it will be required for x3, x4, and so on. Okay, so we are going to call these terms by certain names. Okay, anyway, so I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. Okay, so those who are interested in writing program, they can write program. In case any problem, they can ask me. Okay, I will help. Now let us see this method for one example. Example is x dot of t equal to x of t plus x of t minus 1 plus t, and initial function phi is t here, delay is 1, so x of t is t when t is in the interval minus 1 0. Okay, so I think this example is discussed in our lecture. Let us see how we can utilize Mathematica for this solution. Okay, so we find out 3 steps. Okay, of course, if we use loop, then we can find 100 or thousands of steps. Okay, so let us declare these things. That means we have a, b, r equal to 1. We have f of t equal to t. We have phi means x0 of t equal to t. Okay, so program starts here. We write a equal to 1, b equal to 1, r is also 1. We have to define f. Okay, so we write f square bracket t underscore. Okay, so f of t equal to t. If we put semicolon colon, then after this step we will not get any output. I mean, it will be there as an input. Okay, now we define x0 of t. That means phi of t initial data. It is also t. Okay. What else? I think, okay. So all these are basic things. Okay. Now we can proceed with x1. Okay. Yes, we need to compute this term e raised to 80 into phi of 0. Okay. So let us run this thing first. Okay. Now all these terms are accepted by Mathematica. Okay. Now we need such terms. Okay, so first we compute this one, then we need this integral. Okay, so we will call these things as u of 0, u of 1, u of 2, u of 3, etc. Okay, so any name you can give. Okay, so let us call this as u of 0 to be e raised to 80 into 5 of 0. Okay, so exp means exponential function a t star is multiplication into 5 of 0. 5 is x0. Okay, so x0 of 0. Okay, we run this. It is 0 because x0 of 0 is 0. Okay. From this we can compute x1. Okay, so let us write the definition of x1 of t. x1 of t equal to, we are going to use simplify. Okay, because for higher steps, we need to simplify the expression. Okay, so we can put simplify directly in this step only. We are writing simplify. We need this u of 0. Okay, in this case it is 0, but in general we are writing a program where you just need to change this line only. Okay, and for other part of program you just have to run the things. Okay, and you will get output. So we are writing this u of 0 means this e raised to 85 of 0. Now we need integration thing. Okay, so there is a Mathematica command integrate. Okay, so we are going to use integrate thing. Okay, so plus integrate, I should be capital. Okay, so what is syntax of integrate? Let us see. Integrate, first entry should be our function, comma, then there will be a list whose first entry is variable of integration, then limits. Okay, x min means lower limit, x max means upper limit. Okay, so here is one example, x integrate x square plus sin x. If we are writing simply x, it is indefinite integral. Okay, instead we may write like this, integrate 1 upon x cube plus 3. Then there is a list x comma 0 comma 1. That means we are integrating from 0 to 1. Okay, so integrate. We are integrating e raised to a t minus s. E raised to a into t minus s, then multiplied by b, 5 means x0. Okay, b x0 s minus r plus f of s. So I'm putting bracket b multiplied by x0 of s minus r, isn't it? S minus r plus f of s. Okay, ds. Okay. Comma. Okay, now I'm putting limits. Integration variable is s and limits are 0 and t. Okay, 0 t. Okay, that's all. Let us run this. Okay, so this is our first term. Now we are going to find x2 of t. x2 of t, first term is u0. Here we are using the same integral but different limit. Okay, so we can copy and paste. Okay, so we just copy and paste this thing. Here we change this limit to R and we call this as U of 1. Okay, because we need this term in all the next steps. Okay, so U of 1 is this one. Okay. Now, what is x2 of t? x2 of t equal to, again, simplify. We need u of 0 plus u of 1. Okay, here it is. This is u of 0, this is u of 1, and then plus integrate. Limits are r to t. X0 is replaced by x1. Okay, so we can copy and paste. So plus, okay, integrate. Here, this x0 should be changed to x1 and limits should be from r to t. Is it okay? From r to t. Okay. So this is x2 of t. Okay, now we need x3 of t. So for that we need this integral, but limits should be from r to 2r. Okay. So we call this as u2. And now x3 of t, I'm copying and pasting this. Okay, so all these things are really very compact if we use for loop. Okay, so there is a pattern. Okay, so here x3 of t, we can define x3 of t to be simplified u of 0 plus u of 1 plus u of 2. Okay, plus here this should be x2 and limit should be from 2r to t. Okay, fine. And we can continue this procedure. Okay. Now we have x0, that means initial data, x1, x2, and x3. So we have solution from minus r to 3r. Okay, minus r to 3r. Here r is 1, so that means minus 1 to 3. Okay, so let us see. Now how to combine all these things? X0 is defined on the interval minus r to 0. X1 is defined on the interval 0 to r. X2 on r2 to r, and x3 on 2r to 3r. Okay, so there is one mathematical function that will be useful in defining such thing. So that function will have value equal to 1 on specified interval and otherwise it is 0. Okay, so let us see. Name of that function is piecewise. Okay, so this function piecewise. Okay, let us see the syntax. Actually, it is quite general, but for our purpose, we are writing like this: piecewise. So there will be list within a list. Okay, say 1, comma, let me see. Can we write 0 less equal x less equal to, let us see whether it is 1 on this interval 0 to and otherwise 0. Okay, so we plot this function. Plot is for x from say minus 1 to 3. Yes, it is. Okay, so this piecewise followed by square bracket, and there is a list within a list. Okay, and it contains this value. Okay, if I am writing 1 then comma, this is specified interval, say 0 less equal x less equal 2. Okay, so in this interval it will have value 1 and otherwise 0. Okay, of course we can change this value. This may be 0.8. Okay, okay, so now this is 0.8. Okay, so this is very useful function. So what we are going to do, we are using this piecewise. So if we multiply this piecewise, it is like characteristic function of this interval. Okay, if we are writing 1 here, then this works as characteristic function of this interval. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are defining a function which is given by x0 of t multiplied by characteristic function of interval minus r0 plus x1 of t multiplied by characteristic function of interval 0, 1. Then x2 of plus x2 of t multiplied by characteristic function of interval 1, 2 and so on. Okay. So we define x of t to be x0. This can also be defined using summation symbol. Okay, so let us write this as x0 of t into this piecewise here we take interval minus r to 0 plus will be x1 and here it should be 0 to r. Okay, then it will be x2 and interval is r2 to r. And one more, x3 interval is 2r to 3r. Okay, okay, so this is solution. We can plot this solution. So let us see, plot x of t. Now we can have t from minus r to 3r. Let me say there is some, yeah, sorry. This interval variable should be t. Okay, so there is a mistake. I am taking x. This should be replaced by t. Then we will get required answer. Okay, fine. Okay, so this is a required solution. Okay. Now what we are going to do, we solve this delay differential equation using ND-solve, that is a numerical method which is available in Mathematica, and we will compare this solution with that numerical solution. Okay, so command is ND-solve. Of course, we should call this by some name. Okay, so maybe we call by S or whatever you want. Okay, ND-solve, then square bracket. First thing is a list containing delay differential equation and initial data. Here it is. Okay, so instead of X, we will use variable Y because X is already used so many times. Okay, so what we do, we insert this as Y dash of t equal to Y of t plus Y of t minus 1 plus t. Okay, Y dash t, okay, equal to, we are using 2 times equal to, okay, it is Y of t, then plus Y of t minus 1 plus t. Okay, and initial data is t. Okay, so we know how to provide initial data. It is X, then square bracket t oblique semicolon t less than or equal to 0, okay, equal to t. Okay, so initial data is t. Okay, then we it should not be X, it should be Y. Then next thing is, what is dependent variable? It is Y, and next thing is t. Okay, so we solve this in the interval -1 to 3. Okay, or we may write minus R to 3R. Okay, minus R to 3R. Okay, fine. Let us run this. Okay, here I should put equal to 2 times. Okay, now it is fine. Let us plot this solution. Plot Y of t. We are taking from this, so I should write replace all, that is slide dot s. Okay, and t from minus R to 3R. Okay, we are getting the same solution. Okay, we can plot these two things in a single window also. Okay, let us see. So here we need list. So this is numerical solution, and our exact solution is given by X of t. We may assign different colors using the option plot style, say blue, red. Okay, actually both are matching, so we cannot see two different colors. Okay, what we can do is we can find error. Okay, so how to find error? Error is difference between these two things, or we may find absolute value of difference. Okay, so if I'm defining error function as error of t, which is equal to difference between these two things. Okay, so X of t minus this, and now we can plot this error. Okay, so this is error function. You can see that maximum absolute value is 7 into 10 raised to minus 7, which is almost 0. Okay, 10 raised to minus 7 order. Okay, so both these things are matching. Okay, so your homework is consider different examples. I will share this file with you. You just have to change a, b, r, f of t, x0 of t. Okay, everything else will be same. You just have to run each step. Okay, u0, x1, u1, etc. Okay, and you have to verify that your solution is matching with the numerical solution. Okay, so here you need to uh, write your DDE. Okay, so everything else will be unchanged. Okay, so first step here you have to give your input, as well as in this ND solve thing you have to insert whatever given equation. Okay, now let us see some theory. Okay, we have seen this result. That is, if we consider non-homogeneous delay differential equation, then if we call this x of phi f of t as unique solution, then this will be C1 function, continuously differentiable. Okay, for all t greater than 0. Now there is another thing. If phi dot of yes, there is something related to phi. Yes, the same condition. If phi dot of 0 is equal to a into phi of 0 plus b into phi of minus r plus f of 0, then this solution is continuously differentiable at t equal to 0 also. Converse is also true. Okay. Now we check what happens in our case. Okay. Let us see. So we will compute these two things, phi dot of 0 and the right hand side. Okay. So what is phi dot? What is phi of t? Phi of t is equal to t. So phi dot of t is 1. Okay. So phi dot of 0 is 1. If you are using Mathematica as a software, then there are different menus where you can get benefit of these palettes. Okay, so here you can have different symbols. Okay, let us take phi. Okay, so what is phi dash of t? Phi dash of t is 1, so phi dash of 0 is also 1. Now what is a phi of 0 plus b phi of minus r plus f of 0? A into phi of 0 plus b phi of minus r plus f of 0. This will be, what is a is 1, phi of 0 is 0. Okay, so this is 0. B is also 1, phi of minus r is minus r. Okay, so this is minus r. And f of 0 is also 0. So minus r means minus 1. Okay, so left hand side is 1 and right hand side is minus 1. Okay, so in this case, phi dash of 0 is not equal to a into phi of 0 plus b into phi of minus r plus f of 0. Okay, so according to that theorem, our solution will not be continuously differentiable at 0. Okay, what we can see at 0, it is not even differentiable. Okay, there is a sharp corner. Okay, so this curve is continuous, but it is not differentiable at 0. Okay, so we can conclude that it is not continuously differentiable. Okay, so we can verify such a results using Mathematica software. Okay, so if you are handling ordinary differential equations, you cannot see such corners in the solutions. Okay, so solutions are always continuous. Okay, not even continuous. These solutions are differentiable and derivative is also continuous. That means solution curve is always C1 when you discuss ordinary differential equations. Okay, so for DDs, solution curve may contains such sharp corner. That means non-smooth. It may be non-smooth. Okay. Let us discuss something about characteristic equation. Okay, so this is also an interesting thing. So we have seen characteristic equation. If we have this homogeneous linear delay differential equation x dot of t equal to ax of t plus bx of t minus r, then lambda minus a minus b e raised to minus lambda r equal to 0 is characteristic equation. Okay, and if lambda is root of this equation, then e raised to lambda t will be solution of this delay differential equation. Okay, we can verify this using Mathematica. Let us see. Okay, so let us consider delay differential equation x dot of t equal to ax of t plus bx of t minus r with a equal to 2, b equal to -1 and delay r equal to 0.5. Okay, so in the first step we declare these things: a equal to 2, b equal to -1 and r equal to 0.5. In the next step we define characteristic equation. H of lambda underscore will be there because lambda is variable. Okay, equal to lambda minus a minus b e raised to minus lambda r. Okay, so in this case it is this transcendental equation. Okay, now we are going to use find root command. Okay, of course we can use nsolve, nsolve, but nsolve will provide only one solution. we are going to find different solutions. Okay, so for find root, we have to write that equation h of lambda. We may write this h of lambda equal to 0. Okay, then variable name lambda and initial point. Okay, so we ask Mathematica to find root in the neighborhood of 0. So it is provided as 1.53608. Okay, then solution in the neighborhood of 4. Again, we are getting same in the neighborhood of 10. We are getting same in the neighborhood of 100. Also, we are getting the same. Okay, so this will be there. If we consider negative numbers, so in the neighborhood of -1, we again get the same solution. If we put -10, then in the neighborhood of -10, we are getting another solution, that is -3.35669. Okay, so this is second solution. Now we check solution in the complex plane. Okay, so if we ask Mathematica to find solution in the neighborhood of complex number I, then it is providing 1.53608 plus 3.9 into 10 raised to -22i. Okay, so this imaginary part is almost 0. Okay, so this solution is 1.53608, which is already there. Okay, similarly we can ask in the neighborhood of -i. Okay, it is the same. Then 30 plus 30i, no change. If we put -10 -10i, then we are getting -5.6195 minus 14.7546i. Okay, so this is third. Okay, so we can use such trial and error and get different solutions. Okay, at present we have these three solutions. Two are real, one is positive real number, other is negative real number, and third is complex number. Okay, and we verify that e raised to lambda t is solution of this TD. Okay, so first we use this first solution. Okay, 1.53608, and define y1 of t to be e raised to this number into t. Okay, this is lambda. Now we substitute this in given delay differential equation and check whether we are getting right hand side. Okay, so what is given DD? Okay, so everything we take to left hand side. So x dot of t minus a is 2, so minus 2x of t, then b is -1, so plus 1x of t minus 0.5. Okay, so we have defined y1 to be this. We check whether this is solution or not. So we substitute in given DDE. So y1 dash of t minus a into y1 of t minus b into y1 of t minus r. Okay, if we run this, we are getting 1.46 into 10 raised to -6 into e raised to 1.5. Okay, so this is almost 0. Okay, that means y1 is solution of given DD. Okay, so why this error is there? Because we are approximating. All these are irrational numbers. Okay, actually this is transcendental equation and we are getting irrational numbers as solutions. Okay, so such very small error will always be there. Similarly, we use second root, that is -3.35. Okay, and define y2 of t e raised to minus this lambda t. Okay, no, sorry, e raised to lambda t. And we again do the same thing, that is we substitute this y2 in given DDE. Again, we are getting error of order 10 raised to -6. And last thing is complex number. Again, we substitute and we are getting this to be almost 0. Okay, so if we find okay, so actually this is around 10 raised to 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 raised to -4 approximately order. Okay, if we plot this thing, okay, this error. Okay, so whatever we are getting is error. If we plot, then we can see that it is tending to 0. Okay, so we verified that if lambda is root of characteristic equation, then e raised to lambda t is solution of given DD. Okay, You can use Mathematica to verify this result for other delay differential equations, and you can also verify other results which we discussed. Thank you.